says that separating from the United Kingdom but staying part of the European Union means that Scotland will be independent. And it is, I think, the most dishonest political discourse I've ever seen anywhere in the world. You cannot be independent if you're governed from the European Court of Justice. You cannot be independent if you're in the EU's customs union and single market. You cannot be independent if you're governed by Monsieur Barnier and Mr. Juncker. You can't be independent. And I think this myth needs to be exposed. There are maybe as many as 30% of SNP voters that do not want to be part of the European Union. And I would say to those voters, even though I'm very much a unionist, but I would say to those voters, unless we get Brexit, you cannot really have an intelligent debate about Scotland's future. And actually, what you ought to do, folks, in this election, if you're genuinely a nationalist, is desert the SNP, lend your vote to the Brexit Party, let's get out of the European Union, and then have an honest debate about the future of Scotland. It has been my great privilege to be back here in Edinburgh today. I notice that the howling mob outside is considerably smaller than it was when I was last here a few years ago. There is a ruling class of politicians and political parties who genuinely believe that they know better what's good for us than we do in our own judgments. When they say that we didn't know what we voted for in the referendum, what they mean is we're frankly too stupid, too ignorant to have been given that choice in the first place. Can you imagine, 3 years on, with the referendum not delivered, can you imagine if in an African country an election had simply been overturned? There would be uproar. Many of those in the liberal elite would now be having a fit of the vapours. They'd be demanding the United Nations be sent in. And yet, it is the arrogance of those elites that now has stopped Brexit from happening. And the reason we do not behave like they do, the reason we would never behave like they do, the reason why I'd never ever have anybody in the Brexit Party speaking or behaving in that manner is because we believe that those generations that went before us made a massive sacrifice for us to be free people.